What popular saying is actually bullspeep? The customer is always right. Because half of it's missing. The full truism is the customer is always right in matters of taste. Guy wants a pint of half Baileys. Half orange juice? He's paying. Lady wants to wear a raw turkey as a hat? You do you love. What it doesn't mean is that Kyle and Karen get free rein to treat people like speep because they happen to be handing over money at some stage of the interaction. I always thought of it as a variation of sell to me in my language. And buy from me in yours. What it was supposed to mean is that it doesn't matter what you think is your best product. Sell what the customers buy. A good example of this in action is a company like Chock full of nuts. The guy started out selling roasted nuts. Due to an economic downturn, the nuts stopped selling as well. He started selling sandwiches made with the nuts instead. And coffee to draw people in to buy the sandwiches. The coffee sold much better than the sandwiches. And in time, became the only product as all the nut-related stuff was dropped completely. Remaining only in the name. If he had tried to stubbornly stick to what he had planned to sell, the business likely would have failed. But instead he adapted by selling what people were actually interested in buying and thrived. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. This is like toxic relationship starter pack stuff. Yep. Hate this one. It's used to justify horrible behavior. No one is entitled to treat others like speep and be excused for it. I think the meaning behind that is if you can't support someone like your partner while they are struggling, you don't deserve to be with them while they succeed. It's saying don't be the kind of person who is there only while things are good. But as soon as someone needs you, you leave. That's the supposed meaning. Yes. But it's exclusively said and used by the trashiest people you can find. What doesn't kill you just makes you stronger. Bull. 2x cancer survivor here. It sure didn't make me any stronger. The stuff that failed to kill me left me fragile and jumpy. With a few unhealthy coping mechanisms and a really dark sense of humor. Why do I feel so attacked? You don't need money to be happy. Usually this quote is being used by those who are already filthy rich. You don't need money to be happy, but you do need shelter, warmth, food and water to be happy, and those things cost a peeping fortune right now. Your problem is expectations. Like expecting to have the bare essentials. Are you some kind of socialist or something? What you don't know can't hurt you. While yes, it's technically true, it's also not a positive thing. Theoretically, if someone's partner was cheating on them, yes, they don't know, so they can't be hurt, but it's still a bad thing. I was thinking more of, I don't know, there is a train coming right behind me and that is definitely gonna hurt. I was thinking that if I don't know food is expired, that's not going to stop me from getting sick. Expiration dates are mostly a scam. They said food is expired, not food is past the printed expiration date. Food can definitely go off. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Every box of chocolate I have seen has a little book that tells you what you'll get. That wasn't always the case. Heck, even now the cheap boxes don't have it. Not to mention Forrest probably couldn't read it. Every night we read a book and he's so smart, Jenny. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will make me believe I deserved it. And I steal this. If you love something, set it free. No, if you love something, smother it with affection until you catch the early flight home and catch a couple naked dudes tag teaming your fianc. If you love someone, keep fighting until they tell you to stop. Is that genuine advice or one of the bullspeep ones? More of a Hollywood trope where a guy will prove his love through persistence and being devoted. In reality, it makes them obsessive and a bit threatening. I'm just being honest. No, Jennifer. You're just being a douche canoe and saying what you want. Expecting there will be no repercussions because you tell it like it is, and if you don't like it, then leave. There's this idea some people have that being sympathetic or thoughtful in your choice of words is a sign of weakness. No. It's a sign of being a decent person to choose your words in a way that doesn't hurt or upset someone unnecessarily. There's a reason that when my girlfriend gained some weight I tactfully suggested we start exercising together and didn't just say damn you fat a hell as I clapped my hands and made walrus noises. Undefined. I mean, exorcising together will really get rid of those demons. D. This is going to hurt me more than it hurts you. Lies. You haven't had a child, have you? Oh. Good point. Definitely an exception to the comment. I mean, that's still arguable. Sure, the parent feels really bad for hitting their child. On the other hand, the child gets both the emotional damage of being hit by the person they trust the most in the world and the actual hit. So I'm still calling bullspeep on that. It's not just about hitting a child. I've had to punish my kid in numerous non-violent ways to guide her into the person she's turned into. Some of those were pretty rough on her mom and I. Making your kid cry or angry and hoping you are doing the right thing can be heartbreaking. There's plenty of fish in the sea. You know what else there's plenty of in the sea? Trash. Just be yourself. Depending on the context. This can be good advice or bad advice. Bad advice. I really like this girl. But every time I try to talk to her, I'm a nervous mess. Just be yourself. Gee. Thanks for the non-advice. Good advice. I really like this girl. But I'm worried she won't like my nerdy hobbies. Don't pretend to not have nerdy hobbies. If she doesn't like you for your nerdy hobbies, you probably don't want to be with her anyway. It should be better phrased as be the best version of yourself. Don't pretend to be something you're fundamentally not. But you should always strive to improve yourself to be the best version of yourself. Corollary. If you don't like who you are, change. If you're an asshole, definitely don't be yourself. Instead, be someone that's not an asshole. You can achieve anything you set your mind to. I've had my mind set on instant transmission for 20 years and I haven't teleported once. Plot twist. He has teleported twice. I before E except after C. Science is a great example of that. You deceive me. That's it. I forfeit. Weird. I'm going to seize this opportunity to end the shenanigans. Do so at your leisure. Time heals all wounds. Malarkey. I dunno. I lost my leg and after a decade it grew back. Right this way. The Pope would like a word. There's a Pope of starfish now? Undefined. Using the phrase, it's just a few bad apples, to protect an institution when the full proverb says, a few bad apples spoils the bunch. Yes. The saying means that if you find a few bad apples, you need to throw out the whole barrel. None of the rest are untainted. Why do people say that? Then try to make a case to keep the rest of the apples? My understanding with apples is that you should remove the bad apples before they spoil the bunch. That can apply to people too. Whatever happens, happens for a reason. God, I hate this one. It's more comforting to me to think that there's no underlying reason of everything. Suffering is just suffering. Not a part of some grand plan. Exactly my point. Not everything needs a reason. A watched pot never boils. It does. I've checked. I've been watching cyberpunk trailers for about 7 years now. I'm not sure is gonna boil. Hard work pays off. Do what makes you happy in regards to searching for a career. Killed my love of cooking. Now I dread dinner every night. Yay. Underscore everything is fair in love. War and game. Underscore. When someone tells a depressed person just exercise and drink water. Mother f***. I barely have enough motivation to breathe. What makes you think I'm gonna get up to exercise? The water part of that has been debunked. Drink when you're thirsty. That's it. Money can't buy happiness. Feep off. I always rephrase it this way. Money can't buy happiness, but it sure as hell can buy comfort. Still wrong. I can buy a sick holiday with loads of tours and one-in-a-lifetime experiences in New Zealand. That sure as speep ain't just comfort. Without money you'll be having a hard time with lots of stress trying to figure out how to make ends meet to pay for rent and food. If you have that money you sure as hell don't have to worry about that most of the time. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. It's not. Especially since you literally can't do the same thing twice. Even slight differences can change the end result drastically. Don't worry about it. Coworkers say this when other coworkers start stonewalling you, death staring you, and becoming visibly uncomfortable in your presence. Sometimes a mouthwash will help. Happiness is a choice. That's maybe sometimes a little true. But depression is real. And it's not what anyone chose. It's all a God's plan. Well, if it is, it's a speepty-ass plan, and I don't see how me chronically suffering can be good in any way. Yes. God's plan was for an 8-year-old boy to be hit by a drunk driver so he could spend the rest of his natural life in a wheelchair. It's always darkest before the dawn. No. It's darkest in the middle of the night. It gets gradually lighter before the dawn. And if you're talking metaphorically, it still doesn't work. Hard times often improve gradually. Stupid bloody saying. Well, technically the middle of the night is before dawn.